I'm going to show you how I turn my dreams for the new year into a powerful magical tool. Hello, my darlings, and welcome. I'm going to show you how to create a vision board that's more than just pretty pictures on a poster board. This video is all about building a genuine magical practice that bridges your intentions with real action in the year ahead. Let's do some magical crafting. First, we'll walk through the magical layers of vision board work and why it's such an effective folk magic tool. Then I'm going to share something personal. I'll show you the 2 vision boards I'm creating this year and explain why I've made the deliberate choice to separate my business goals from my personal life goals. You'll see all the elements I'm including across both boards, and I'll talk about the magical strategy behind that decision. Finally, I'll give you practical tools to create your own vision board, including journaling prompts, a visualization method, and ways to keep your board magically charged throughout the year. This is going to be a longer video than usual because there's a lot to cover, but I promise every bit of it is worth your time. Vision boards occupy an interesting space in folk magic practice. They sit right at the intersection of practical planning and spell work, which is exactly where a lot of effective magic happens. When you create a vision board, you're doing something that looks simple on the surface, but you're actually engaging in several layers of magical work at once. The first layer of magical work is clarification and declaration. Before you can manifest anything, you have to know what you actually want, and that's harder than it sounds. When you sit down to create a vision board, you're forcing yourself to make decisions about what matters most to you. You're choosing specific images and words that represent your desires, and in doing so, you're crystallizing vague wishes into concrete intentions. This act of choosing is itself magical. You're drawing a line between what you want and what you don't want, what receives your energy and what doesn't. In folk magic traditions, naming something gives you power over it, and a vision board is essentially a way of naming your future. The second layer of magical work is the sustained focus that a vision board provides. Most spells are done once and then released, but a vision board keeps working because you see it every day. Every time you look at it, you're feeding energy into those intentions. You're reminding yourself what you're working toward, and that constant reminder shapes your decisions and actions in subtle ways. This is sympathetic magic in action. The images you've chosen are standing in for the real things that you want. And by keeping them in your awareness, you're maintaining an energetic connection to your goals. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between a vivid image and reality. So when you regularly look at pictures of what you want, you're training your whole being to recognize opportunities and take actions that align with those desires. The third layer of magical work is the creative act itself. There's magic in making things with your hands, in cutting and arranging and gluing until something looks right to you. When you physically construct a vision board, you're building a representation of your will in the material world. You're taking scattered possibilities and organizing them into a coherent picture of your future. This is the same principle behind poppets, spell jars, and charm bags. You're creating a physical object that holds and radiates your intention. The time and care you put into making your vision board becomes part of its power. You can amplify the magical potency of your vision board by treating it like any other spell component. Create it during an appropriate moon phase, a new moon for new beginnings, a waxing moon for growth and increase. Cleanse your materials before you start and set a clear intention for what the board will help you accomplish. As you place each image, you may wish to speak your desires aloud or hold them strongly in your mind. And when you're finished, you might anoint the board with an appropriate oil, pass it through incense smoke, or leave it under moonlight. Some practitioners like to ritually activate their vision boards by lighting a candle in front of them and spending time feeling what it will be like when those images become reality. I think that the real magic of a vision board is that it bridges the gap between wishing and doing. I've never been the type of witch who believes in 100% passive magic, where you just put your desires out into the universe and wait. I always mix the magical with the mundane, taking concrete steps in the world to create a pathway for my magic to bring me that which I desire. A vision board is active magic that keeps you engaged with your goals. When you see an image of yourself healthy and strong, it might inspire you to go for a walk. When you see pictures of an organized home, it might motivate you to spend an hour decluttering. The board becomes a tool for keeping your will aligned with your actions. And that's when magic really works, when the spiritual and the practical support each other. Your vision board isn't just asking the universe for what you want, it's asking you to become the person who can receive and maintain those things. This year, I'm doing something different. I'm creating 2 separate vision boards, and I want to talk about why, because there's real magical wisdom in this choice. The first board is dedicated entirely to my business and this YouTube channel. My theme for this board is the Phoenix, and I chose that deliberately. The Phoenix embodies death, transformation, and powerful rebirth. It represents bold experimentation and fearless reinvention. Over the last year and a half, this channel has been slowly dying. Views have declined, engagement has dropped, and I've watched the energy fade. In 2026, I'm working to revive this channel with fresh video series, new products, and craft with me videos. I've just launched 2 new Patreon tiers called Mystical Mailboxes and Sacred Circle, where I'm sending magical goodies out every month in magically themed boxes, and a new jewelry line inspired by ancient goddesses. Overall, my intention is to rebuild a new and engaged audience. I'm also adding an image of a horse. 2026 is the year of the horse, and after 2025, a snake year, was filled with shedding and revealing truths, I'm ready for the year of the horse. In the Chinese zodiac, 2026 is called the year of the fire horse or the red horse, a rare event occurring every 60 years, symbolizing dynamic energy, passion, and fast-paced progress. Starting February 17th, 2026, and ending February 5th, 2027. This combination of the fiery element with the independent horse brings forth themes of adventure, ambition, bold action, and rapid change. It's an opportune time for innovation and big decisions. A horse year pushes you to trust your instincts and take bold steps. It's a year when growth outpaces doubt and a time to step into potential. It's a year of growth, movement, power, and possibility. I'm going to try a lot of things and see what works and what doesn't. I intend to be ruthless about throwing out what fails and moving fast and not fearing change. I hope you'll join me for this crazy ride throughout the new year. There are several elements I'm placing on my business vision board to represent video content and series, new products, and new Patreon rewards. I'm starting a new video series called Thrifty Witchcraft, a series of monthly videos showing witches how to find materials and practice in ways that are free or inexpensive. I'm also painting animal spirit guide oracle card artwork, and that will lead to a Kickstarter campaign in 2027. I'll be painting cards all year and sharing the artwork in Paint With Me videos. I just launched a new Patreon tier called Mystical Mailboxes. These patrons receive a monthly curated witchy goodie box filled with colorful items handmade by me with a magical theme. New in 2026, I'm launching a goddess-inspired jewelry line called Divine Adornments, with one new goddess featured each month. January's earrings are inspired by Persephone, so I'm adding a photo of them on my board. In 2026, I'm starting a crystal witchcraft series. I'll be painting a new crystal or gemstone each month to feature on my Patreon pen pal cards, and crafting a video about the magical properties of each one as well. January's gemstone is a garnet. I absolutely loved writing my first book last year, and I'm planning to write another book in late 2026. It will be a kitchen witchery book with recipes and ideas for seasonal, holiday, and witchy cooking all year long. I'm continuing my monthly community sigil videos. Each month, I create a magic sigil for the community for you to use in your spell work and to manifest what you want in life. This sigil is transferred onto charm bags for my sigil spell bag patrons. My second vision board is completely separate, and this is intentional magic at work. This Dream Life vision board contains no business goals at all. It's dedicated entirely to home, family, health, and personal joy. My word of the year or theme for this board is Steward, meaning taking good care of what you have. For me, that means my health, my home, my resources, and my time. Like last year, my number one priority in the new year is my health. Last year, I saw an amazing boost in my health when I put this at the top of my priorities, and I intend to keep it there and continue that success. This includes walks at the lake, the park, and the beach, making doctor's appointments, keeping up with medications, supplements, and hydration. My second focus is maintaining a thrifty and clutter-free home, and also living in a home that inspires me to create. I'm in a slow and deliberate process of decluttering and cleaning my home and yard. I'm also making time for painting, crocheting, and making things instead of buying new. My third priority is social time with friends and family. This includes visiting family in Arizona and road trips through the desert. I get no more personal joy than on my visits to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, so that is included with a picture of the Haunted Mansion. I'm also looking forward to creating mystery games and escape rooms for friends, cabin retreats, hosting Dungeons & Dragons game days, and movie days. My fourth focus is arts, crafts, and hobbies. Crochet, reading, painting, making jewelry, and working with crafting supplies, making home decor instead of buying it, crafting gifts or thrifting them. And my fifth goal is creating a website called Witches Rise with fellow witchy friends. We are planning to use our crafty, creative skills to hand make products and a little online shop, with all of the profits going to support the causes that we care about. Now here's why I'm making two separate boards. It's an important magical strategy. By decoupling my business vision from my dream life vision, I'm protecting the magic of both. If my efforts to revive the channel don't succeed in 2026, if the phoenix doesn't rise in the way that I hope, I have to be willing to admit that and pivot. I have to be willing to let that dream transform into something else. But I cannot allow one failing element to drag down my entire vision for my life. My health matters whether my channel thrives or not. My relationships matter. My home matters. My creative joy matters. By separating these boards, I'm giving myself permission to succeed in my personal life, even if my business needs to change direction. I'm also giving my business the space to be bold and take risks without feeling like failure would destroy everything I'm building. This is practical magic. This is protecting your energy and your spirit while you do the hard work of transformation. If you're feeling called to create your own vision board for 2026, I want to give you some practical, magical tools to make this process as powerful as possible. Start with reflection before you ever cut your first image. Sit down with your journal and ask yourself some honest questions. What do I actually want for my life this year? Not what I think I should want and not what looks good on social media, but what would genuinely make my heart feel full. What areas of my life need the most attention right now? Where am I struggling, and what would healing look like? What dreams have I been putting off, and is this the year to finally pursue them? Write without censoring yourself. Let the truth come out on the page, even if it surprises you. Once you have some clarity, try a visualization meditation. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Light a candle if you like, or burn some garden sage or rosemary to clear the energy. Close your eyes and take several deep breaths until you feel settled. Now, imagine yourself 1 year from now at the end of 2026. See yourself in vivid detail. Where are you? What does your home look like? How does your body feel? Who is around you? What are you doing with your days? And what has changed? Pay attention to the emotions that come up and notice what brings you genuine joy versus what feels like an obligation. Sit with this vision for as long as it takes to feel real and solid. And when you're finished, write down everything you saw and felt. These are the seeds of your vision board. Now you're ready to gather your materials. You can use poster board, cork board, canvas, or even a large piece of cardboard. Some people like to cut images from magazines. I find images on Pinterest and other online sites and print them out. You'll need scissors, glue, and any other decorative elements that call to you. Ribbons, pressed flowers, crystals, small charms, anything that holds meaning. I love to add glitter glue to my boards for extra sparkle. Before you begin cutting and arranging, you may wish to cleanse your materials. You can simply pass them through incense smoke, sprinkle them with salt water, or simply hold them in your hands and set the intentions that they're clear and are ready to hold your magic. Choose your timing intentionally. The new moon is ideal for starting a vision board because you're planting seeds of new intentions. The waxing moon is perfect for building and growing energy. Work when you feel focused and hopeful, not when you're exhausted or discouraged. Your energy goes into everything you create. As you look through magazines and images, pay attention to what makes you feel something. You're not just looking for literal representations. Sometimes a color or a texture or an abstract image will capture the feeling you're reaching for better than a specific picture. Trust your intuition. If an image speaks to you, include it. As you cut each piece, hold your intention clearly in your mind. You might even speak it aloud. I am calling in vibrant health. I am creating abundance. I'm building meaningful connections. Let each cut and each placement be a small spell. Arrange your images in a way that feels good to you. Some people like organized sections. Others prefer an organic collage. There's no wrong way. The board needs to please you and speak to your spirit. When everything is placed and you're satisfied with the arrangement, glue it all down. And as you press each image into place, anchor that intention into physical reality. Once your board is complete, You may wish to activate it magically. Hold it in your hands or place your hands on it and speak your intentions clearly. Pour your will and your hope into it. You might anoint the corners with an oil that corresponds to your goals. Prosperity oil for abundance, rose oil for love, frankincense for spiritual work. You could pass it through the smoke of garden sage or rosemary to seal and bless it. Some people like to place crystals on or around their boards, clear quartz to amplify, citrine for manifestation, rose quartz for self-love. Choose what resonates with your intentions. Place your vision board somewhere you'll see it every single day. This is crucial. The magic doesn't work if the board sits hidden in a closet. You need that daily reminder, that constant, gentle pressure on your awareness. Every time you look at it, you're feeding energy into those intentions. You're telling your subconscious mind, this is what we're working toward. This is what matters. Each new moon throughout 2026, you may wish to recharge your vision board. Light a candle in front of it and spend a few minutes really looking at each image. Feel what it will be like when those things manifest. Notice which goals you've already made progress on and celebrate that. Notice which ones still feel distant and renew your commitment to them. You might speak a simple charm. Under this new moon's growing light, I charge these visions with renewed might. What I have placed upon this board draws ever closer, word by word. So I will it, so it shall be. This magic is alive in me. Or use your own words. The important thing is that you're regularly connecting with your intentions and keeping that magical current flowing. Your vision board is a living magical tool. It grows with you throughout the year. Some goals will manifest quickly, and you might want to mark them with a small symbol or token to acknowledge your success. Other goals might shift and change as you do, and that's perfectly fine. The board isn't a rigid contract, it's a conversation between you and your future self. It's a map, and sometimes maps need to be redrawn as you discover new territory.